Welcome back to another episode of Believe in the Broncos on the Believe Network, sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. That is Bri Maestas. I am Patrick Chiotti. We are the hosts of this here program. Bri, this game against San Francisco, they won handily, 30-9. The starting offense and the starting defense, really, both kind of got a little bit of little bit of their own medicine. They got punched in the mouth early. Bo Nix took a really bad safety in his second drive, I believe. Not good for the brand. What were some things from that game against San Francisco that really caught your eye? Can be positive or negative.
I think you could say that as the game established itself and as everyone sort of kind of got into rhythm, there was clean football, from the Broncos. I know Bo Nix maybe didn't look as great as we had anticipated, but that is the Achilles heel of having anticipation and excitement. But he looked composed, and I think the quarterback room as a whole, protected the football. Defensively, the young guys were making a lot of splash plays. What I think is fun is that we're seeing, a lot of the tight ends that we maybe didn't have feelers on finding the end zone. And these are the plays that are making bubble players push for a roster spot right behind Evan Ingram and Adam Troutman. So I think there was some interesting developments. I don't think it's necessarily roster making endeavors, but Trent Sherfield was out there, stacking a beautiful vertical touchdown. I think just showing that coaches had trust in this veteran and his presence. And then on defense, you get a interception. I think it was Kareem Reed who got that as well. Yep. And you got a lot of meaningful snaps from Savion Jones on that loose ball
too.
Yeah. And I think that really proves that you are seeing a lot of the younger guys step up. And then of note, you've got Jaquan McMillan, right?
Mm-hmm.
He keeps proving that he's one of the fastest triggers on the secondary, but he's had such a reported up and down camp. So you're trying to find, where does he land? And it takes game snaps to really isolate that. So I don't want to get too ahead of, who's really trending up or down necessarily. Yeah. But from a standpoint of real football, happening on a Saturday, it was good to see everyone out there. I still think that there's a ton of room for improvement. I don't really think the Niners were throwing anything at them that they couldn't handle. I don't think that's the scariest offense that you're going to face. So you can't really put a measuring stick to how the offense was producing. But in a little bit of a jumbled way of those are my thoughts from that game. 30-9 is not what I anticipated the score being, even I don't know when they did start scoring. So I'm just glad that it was brushed away, because to start that game, it was worst case scenario. I was like, this is exactly what we didn't want to see. But I think that that's the only way that you shake off the rust. That's not a slow start. That's just legitimately getting back into the speed of things.
Yeah. A couple things that caught my eye from watching this game back. I like to go back and watch through my order is special teams and then offense. So run offense and then pass offense. And then I go to the defensive side. One of the things that really caught my eye, Bri, was Troy Franklin. I wanted to put him in our stock up, stock down, but there's just a couple players that did a little bit more for me. But man, I feel like Troy Franklin is ascending to a point where he will probably be a really big impact player for this offense. And, when they drafted him, I had all these questions, and he has delivered on my questions. Really, he put on weight in the offseason. He made a catch on 4th and 5. That was one that he probably would have dropped last year. But it's also the other things. It's also just him being a presence on the offense. His route running abilities, his ability to draw the eye of defenders. That's what led to the Lucas Kroll touchdown. Ultimately, was Troy Franklin ran like a double move and then an in and froze the cornerback and the linebacker just like perfectly. His route running looks really clean. The burst looks really clean. I wish Nix would have thrown him the ball. He could have granny shotted that over the line, and Franklin probably would have caught it and gone for 20. But I really want to see him grow, right? So that was something that caught my eye. The second unit offensive line, wow. That was probably one of my favorite groups to watch. I found myself rewinding over and over and over again. And just like the development that Zach Strief is doing with these younger guys, specifically guys like Nick Gargiulo, with Alex Palczewski, with a guy like even Alex Forsythe, who probably is not going to be, the starter, but his run blocking ability is fantastic. Even Matt Pert had some really great reps. So that's exciting to see, because I know one of your big issues going into the season was the offensive line depth. So it's like those questions are getting answered here. Bri, let's get to stock up, stock down from the San Francisco game. Who was your player after that game that you said he just improved his stock, and who was the player that maybe hurt themselves in that department?
Honestly, it has to be a shoe in here, because Bonitto looked like the tone setter and drive killer that he's being set up to be. So burst, bend, all the good stuff that we know that he's capable of, but it's coming at a really great time, right? I think it was even his choice to stay in the game there for as long as he did. And that's just the dedication and the loyalty to the team. But honestly, it goes deeper than that. That is the betting on yourself. You're going to go out and show exactly what you're made of. We saw that from Nik Bonitto. Absolutely detonated a drive, 2 sacks and additional pressure on a 3-play sequence, and it forced a punt. And that, to you, I don't want to say championship caliber, but at the end of the day, that's a statement, and it was the statement of the evening. The first team defense gave up some really early explosive yards that, you don't absolutely love to see. And then you get this inflection point from Bonitto where he's able to really reroute the momentum. And that's huge on multiple counts. It's not just a big sequence from Bonitto and showing that he's a great edge. It's showing that he can change the momentum of a football game, which I thought was rather impressive. So did the Niners head coach. I mean, everyone's been talking about it. I can't not give that a stock up. I know he's already very high on everyone's list, but it matters a lot because the plan in the pass rush is translating. So it wasn't just a win off of raw speed. It was timing, and he was able to counter. And I think that's just evidence that he's expanding as a player. So all of the concerns about, can he do it again this season, are sort of going by the wayside with a type of performance, even if it is the preseason, because all of the ones were in there,
Yeah. Bri, I'm going to say my stock up player, and I was kind of alluding to this in the last segment, but Kris Abrams-Draine. This was a guy that when he was drafted by the Broncos, former Broncos cornerback Chris Harris Jr. was elated that he was a Bronco. Saw a lot of himself in KAD, his ability to play inside outside. But where I saw his stock really go up, Bri, was on those special teams units. They tried a couple different combinations of gunners throughout the game. Skinner and Sam Franklin were the first group. I was not honestly not all that impressed with Franklin as a gunner. I don't think JL Skinner should be a gunner either. I think his role is more inside. But when KAD was out there, on the coffin corner situation, he got he was only guarded by one player, but he was able to get outside of him, get downfield quickly, got to his landmark really well, and was waiting for the ball, exactly what you want to see out of the gunner on that side. On the second one, he was doubled, or the third punt, his second as the gunner, he was doubled, got past both of the guys with a really nice move. I mean, he hard stepped outside, Guy totally bought it, tried to grab him, ripped off of the coverage player and got past both of them and got downfield. Perfect position. You love to see that. That is the type of play that is going to earn you a roster spot. And the fact that he can also go out there and perform on defense is just an added bonus at this point. I like to view things from special teams out, because if you're not going to contribute on special teams, what the hell are you doing? And I think that KD definitely boosted his stock with that game. Had a great break on a ball as well on the defensive side. So I think this is a guy who's just continuing to show that the Broncos made the right choice in taking him. Bri, that's all. That's going to do it for this episode of Believe in the Broncos, sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make sure you head over to FanDuel today and get signed up. Throw some money on a Broncos preseason game. Don't listen to Bri. Okay, be a degenerate. That's fine. We like that. But the Broncos will be playing against the Arizona Cardinals this weekend. Let's take a look at that time. It is going to be 6:30 p.m. Pacific. Going to be a home game. Bri, are you going to be at the game?
I haven't decided yet if I'm going to go.
Oh, geez. All right. Buy your tickets from Bri if you don't have tickets yet. Make sure you follow Bri and I on socials at Bri Maestas 303, at Patrick Chiotti. Make sure you follow at Believe Network as well, and subscribe to the show on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on. We would love to hear from you. So leave us a review, 5 stars if you love us, 1 star if you don't. We can take it. Don't worry about it, but we know they're all going to be 5 stars. I'm Patrick Chiotti. That's Bri Maestas. This has been Believe in the Broncos. We'll see you next time. Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.